Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new edition of the Daily Debate. In tonight's show, we're going to be focusing on the digital transformation and the application of artificial intelligence within our government, our country, and the services that would be provided to all citizens, with a special focus on people with special needs as well. But before we start doing that, let's check out some of the main stories making the news today. We'll start off with President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, who said today that he appreciated the political performance of other candidates in the 2024 presidential race, saying they helped diversify the political landscape in Egypt. A day after he was declared the outright winner of the elections, the president met with head of the People's Republican Party, Hazem Omar, head of the Egyptian Democratic Party, Farid Zahran, and head of the Al-Wafd Party, Abdessanad Yamama, at the Ittihadiyya Presidential Palace. The head of state hailed the Egyptians' high national responsibility and wide participation in the elections. For their part, the former candidates congratulated President al-Sisi for his win, wishing him success in the comprehensive development conducted in the country. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received today the Greece Defense Minister, Nikos Dindias, today in Cairo. The Minister of Defense, Mohammed Zeki, and Greece's ambassador to Egypt attended the meeting. Presidential spokesman, Councillor Ahmed Fahmy, said the visiting Greek minister conveyed congratulations from the Greek President, Kyriakos Mitsotakis, to President al-Sisi over his presidential elections win. Dindias also praised Cairo's role on the regional and international stages, lauding cooperation between the two sides at the bilateral level or through the tripartite cooperation mechanism bringing along Cyprus. For his part, President al-Sisi hailed the distinguished and historic ties linking Egypt and Greece, expressing his keenness to expand cooperation to serve the interests of both peoples. The meeting also tackled means to cement the bilateral ties in military cooperation, in addition to a number of regional developments, especially in the occupied Palestinian territories. The head of state reviewed Cairo's efforts to reach a ceasefire in Gaza, allowing humanitarian aid into the territory, and the need to implement the UN Security Council resolution. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received a phone call from Jordan's King Abdullah II today to congratulate him on the presidential elections win. The Jordanian monarch expressed keenness on expanding ties with Cairo on the bilateral level and within the framework of coordination to face the challenges in the region. For his part, President al-Sisi expressed his appreciation for ties with Jordan and said Cairo was keen to reach a comprehensive and fair settlement to the Palestinian cause. And President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received another phone call from the Tunisian President Kais Saied to congratulate him on the success and re-election in the presidential elections 2024. The Tunisian president asserted that his country is keen to boost cooperation with Egypt in all fields in light of the joint distinguished relations. During the call, President al-Sisi asserted Egypt's keenness to enhance joint ties with Tunisia. The two leaders also discussed the latest developments in the region during the call. These were some of the main stories making the news today, but now turning our attention to artificial intelligence, really fueling the digital transformation within the whole country. Let's check out this report, and we'll be right back.
Egypt has made much progress with its national artificial intelligence AI strategy as applied to the nation digital transformation. The state digital transformation journey is inextricably linked with the boundless potential of artificial intelligence. Minister of Communication and Information Technology Amr Talat said a capacity building program has been launched to dismantle the knowledge of the AI to all the segments of society, beginning of the state employees in order to make government operation more efficient and transparent. The government also created the National Council for Artificial Intelligence to monitor the application of the national strategy across all sectors. This actually came in tandem with the passing of data protection legislation governing the relationship between the data owner and the users. Egypt currently ranks second in Africa after Mauritius, according to a 2022 report on the readiness of governments to implement AI technology. Egypt comes 111th out of 194 countries. The 2021 Human Development Report for Egypt puts this country in the 55th place in the Government Readiness for Artificial Intelligence Index. The World Knowledge Index for 2021 shows that Egypt went up to 53rd place out of 154 countries. The National AI Strategy entitles the education and training, making use of data in Egypt and making that data available to the private sector. The latest AI technologies are being used to build smart cities and render existing ones smart according to the international standards. The Ministry of Communication and Information Technology has cooperated with various international companies to use the AI applications and innovative solution to develop the government operation. Egypt has also been selected for the position of Vice Chair of the UNESCO expert group in charge of preparing recommendations related to ethics of AI. Egypt has launched a special AI platform as the country's official portal for the news and details of AI projects. 38 smart cities are being planned to meet the needs of the public in all areas of life through technology that save time and efforts, stimulate learning and creativity.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're joined here tonight in the studio by Dr. Nيفين Makaram Lbib, the Director of the Social and Economic Planning Center and the Professor of Artificial Intelligence. Dr. Lbib, good evening and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for your invitation.
Dr. Lbib, first off, I mean, over a few episodes we spoke about the importance of digitalization and artificial intelligence and it's the role of AI within different sectors of the government and society. Now, and even the elections for the past couple of weeks. But let's try and focus on one of the main segments of society as people with special needs. Now, 2018 was the year of special needs here in Egypt, and the Special Needs Day is on December 3rd, and Egypt dedicated the whole month of December for people with special needs. Now, let's try and focus on what AI can do, artificial intelligence can do for people with special needs. So in different facilities, different issues such as medical health care, learning and job recruitment. Let's start with the medical and health care in general. How can artificial intelligence help people with special needs in this regard?
Actually, artificial intelligence and machine learning can do a lot for people with special needs. Like, for example, the personalized treatment, which is very important for them. And what is really crucial is telemedicine and remote monitoring, because some of these people have some disabilities and cannot really go for a follow-up, for regular follow-up, let's say, for their medical doctors. So with telemedicine, they can benefit a lot. And, now with the new insurance system, we have telemedicine capabilities in many of our hospitals. That was not the case before. So maybe we can benefit out of these new capabilities and privileges and provide better and more personalized services to people who have some special needs.
Yes.
Okay, so that's regarding the medical or the healthcare services that can be provided using the AI.
Yes, and it can be personalized. I mean, having these sort of treatment plans and an early detection or analysis of each case, can it be much more personalized for each person as well?
Definitely, and nowadays we're also talking about pregnant women. So we might be starting the early detection of some of the disabilities with the pregnant women, so that we can know, in a very previous time, we can explore if the baby, if the newborn will have any special needs.
Yes.
So that we can be prepared for it. Like, for example, we can discover the Down syndrome. So that the parents, are kind of prepared, well prepared for it. Because sometimes the parents cannot discover if their babies, if their newborns have some needs, some special needs. That was one of the requirements. We recently had a seminar about the special needs and the role of AI, the role that AI can play in making their life, much easier. And we were discussing this with their parents. And parents said that most of them did not discover or did not understand the special needs of their newborn babies. So maybe we can help with the AI. We can help making them very well prepared for it, giving them the advice and educating them on how to deal with their babies and their kids.
And do doctors and healthcare workers and even medical students, are they being educated about the use of artificial intelligence in medicine? Are they being trained and are aware of the possibilities that AI provides that they can actually use and implement within their practice?
I think that they do understand, definitely, the physiological aspects, but maybe we should train them with the psychological aspects, how to deal with them. Maybe that's an important issue that we should focus on, especially now with having many mental health problems, if I dare say, especially after coronavirus. So now we need to educate the healthcare professionals so that they can get to know how to use AI in order to get to know more about the problems, especially that special needs are facing, then how to treat them, how to deal with them.
Well, talking about education now, obviously all people with special needs, they need to have a proper and a decent and adaptable sort of learning process. Now, schools with departments for people with special needs were quite few and maybe scattered and scarce around the country, but the government and the Ministry of Education has been working on expanding the number of schools with specializations for people with special needs, about 600 schools now. So what is being done by the government to introduce artificial intelligence servicing the people with special needs and students?
The government is focusing on educating the educators, which is very important.
Yes.
That's why I think that we had around 28,000 teachers. We educated them, or actually the government educated them, so that they can know how to deal and how to teach special needs. Especially that with special needs, we have many types, let's say. We have some people who have just some learning disabilities, some learning difficulties, like, for example, the ADHD. So we have to educate the educators so that they can get to know, first of all, they can discover the problems, the difficulties, and they can discover the disabilities, the learning difficulties of the learners, and then how to deal with them, how to teach them. So that's very important. So we already started this with the Ministry of Telecommunications.
Well, do you feel that you've mentioned that there are different kinds of special needs. Some have physical disabilities, some have mental and psychological difficulties as well. So that also would include not just training the teachers to know how to convey or teach the knowledge and the kind of information, but also to psychologically know how to deal and treat and interact with the students. So it is probably part and parcel of the whole teacher's background and education. It needs to be. So what are we doing to train and educate the teachers to work on both fronts?
Actually, we're trying to educate the teachers regarding the learning styles, but we need more to focus on the psychological aspects. And you know what? Maybe we should focus on dealing with the whole society, because we're talking now about social inclusion. So for social inclusion to happen, then we need to educate the community. We need to tell people how to deal with people with special needs, because sometimes they're scared. Sometimes we used to get scared. We used to get to, you know, we don't know how to deal with them, what we should say or not say, or deal with them whenever we're facing with any situation. So I think here comes the role of the media.
Yes.
Not only the media, but the drama.
Yes. Well, because at schools, maybe children or students can learn, especially if their schools have departments for people with special needs. They would know day in, day out how to interact. They know what to say, what not to say, how to deal, what would be appropriate or not appropriate, what sort of activity or the level of energy that would be needed for each and every person. But what about the adults? What about the people who are already done with their academic and academic life? How would they be educated? Is it just the role of the media? Is it through drama, as you've mentioned? Should there be awareness campaigns done for free, or maybe some incentives or encouragement can be attached to it to encourage citizens to learn more about these disabilities?
Okay, actually during this month we're working on several awareness campaigns, but I don't think that this is enough. For example, if we manage to get 500 people per each event, then after all, even if you work during December, and then you cannot come up with all of the community.
Yes.
That's why we were talking about the drama, the role of drama, because people still watch television, and they're still, you know, that has the main impact in Egypt.
Yes.
So why not? Maybe we can make use of programs like the ones usually in Nile TV. You're usually tackling many issues and many very important problems of the society, and many very important challenges. And we can also make use of the drama and, you know, try to teach people that we have some, let's say, different people. They have just special needs, and we need to know how to make use of it. They can be very beneficial to the society.
Yes.
Okay, we have many successful examples. We have many people that can be used as role models.
Yes.
Maybe you can invite some of them in the program here.
Yes, that will happen.
Yes. So we need to give people some positive vibes, talking about special needs from a positive perspective, not only about the challenges.
Dr. Lbib, now, away from awareness and the educational process and the health services that AI would provide or help provide for people with special needs, what about after they're done with all of that? How do we integrate them within society in terms of the workforce? Because everybody can send a CV and maybe go do an interview somewhere, but people with special needs need certain requirements, and not everything can be accessible for each and every one. So how would artificial intelligence help people with special needs to get a fair shot at any given job or profession they are trained and qualified for? What can be done, and how can AI help facilitate that?
We can make use of virtual interviews, for example. so that we can deal with people who have some disabilities and cannot really go to attend many interviews, so we can help them. We can make use of AI algorithms in order to make the interview not biased, because sometimes we are biased against. Sometimes we think that people who have some special needs will not be able to perform you know, as required in any workplace, which is not the case, by the way. So maybe if we make use of AI algorithms, then we will have some fair outcomes. We can make use of some problems, we can, some applications who can help them solve problems, who can help them assess their skills, who can help guide them in order to get to, you know, to take maybe some courses so as to be ready for certain workplaces.
Yes.
So that's how we can make use of AI, in addition to predictive analytics. A main challenge that's facing us in AI is the lack of data, or good data.
Yes.
We need to have more data about special needs in Egypt. We need to be able to classify special needs, because these are different, let's say, disabilities or difficulties, to make it clear. So we need to be able to classify, to cluster, and then to plan, so as to know for which governorate, for example, we will have to add some types of schools, some types of programs. We need to know how to enable them for the workplace, so that we cannot rely only on the percentage. You know, sometimes the company think that they have to hire some special needs. No, we need to educate the special needs so that they can perform in a better way, and then they can, you know, get assigned the role in a much easier way.
Yes.
That was one of the problems that we were discussing in the event. Then we do not only accept the percentage, we need to make people more eager to hire special needs.
Yes. Well, you've mentioned the bias that can exist. Now, how do we mitigate this bias? I mean, yes, there is a percentage or a certain quota that maybe a governmental institution or a private company might have to employ people with special needs, but should there also be some sort of a monitoring body that would actually evaluate and monitor the performance of the employees with special needs and the institutions or the companies hiring them as well, to make sure that this sort of bias is non-existent?
Definitely, we should have a body that can monitor the performance of both of employers and employees. But on the other hand, we need to talk to people with special needs and get to know more about the challenges they're facing. Maybe we can help them. I mean, before monitoring their performance, maybe we should help them, we should educate them, we should train them in a different way. And nice enough, we have many AI tools that can help. We have many assistive technologies that can help them perform maybe in better manner than others. So let's focus first on training, education, making them eager to work, because sometimes they feel that they're rejected. That's what we heard from them on the event, and that was really, I mean, it wasn't easy for us to know, because they think that they're rejected, and even when they have very good grades, people do not want to hire them because they will have to provide more facilities, let's say, for them. And sometimes they're scared, sometimes they don't know how to deal with them. That's why I talked to you, and then we should educate the community, not only the teachers, not only the educators, but the society.
Well, do you feel that maybe, I mean, the use of technology to actually talk to people with special needs, I mean, are we talking about training programs? Are we talking about centers that offer such programs, or are we also talking about artificial intelligence applications that they can actually have on their laptops or on their phones, or within the reach of their family, that they would actually it would be accessible for them at the comfort of their own home?
We're talking about online platforms. We're talking about apps. We're talking about mobile applications. We're talking about chatbots. So we already have many applications that can help educating them, that can give them advice, that can guide them. They have some navigation apps that can tell them whether the place they're going to is accessible or not. So providing some information. And by the way, we need to do the same for their parents. That was, again, one of the requirements. The event had many stakeholders. So for the first time, we were talking to special needs and asking them, what do you want? What do you need? What do you need from us as educators? What do you need from the society? And we were really shocked with some of the requirements. As for the parents, they said that they're still facing challenges. With all the privileges that special needs have, they're still facing many challenges. And they need to be educated again. So maybe we can make use of chatbots to educate the parents and to help them, you know, take care of their kids.
Yes. Dr. Lebib, since 2018, when that was the year of all people with special needs here in Egypt, a main focus was on government services that would be helpful and it would be easier for people with special needs to access and make use of. How far do you think Egypt has revolutionized the facilitations and the transformation within government services for people with special needs?
I think that Egypt has done a very good job, but we still need to update some of the regulations. So let's focus on regulations, let's focus on the education, on the healthcare, and definitely on the media.
Yes.
So maybe if we can do so, we can improve, I mean, the life of these people.
Yes,
special
definitely.
Needs.
Ladies and gentlemen, many efforts are being done by the government to facilitate the digital transformation, artificial intelligence, especially through government services as well. Let's check out this report and we'll be right back.
In recent years, Egypt has witnessed a remarkable surge in the integration of artificial intelligence, AI, and information technology, IT, across various sectors. This transformative journey towards a more digitally advanced nation has brought about significant changes in education, healthcare, finance, and many other industries. The Ministry of Communications and Information Technology is making significant strides in the digital transformation journey, aiming to enhance citizens' services through a comprehensive plan that encompasses data integration, the launch of Digital Egypt platform, and substantial investments totaling 25 billion Egyptian pounds. In recent years, the ministry has undertaken an ambitious effort to expand digital government services, progressively increasing the number of available services from 34 in 2020 to 168 in August 2023. This rapid growth reflects the increasing in the number of available services. The ministry delivers these digital government services through various channels, including the Digital Egypt platform, a mobile application, the Digital Egypt call center, and Egypt Post. These actually are offering payment card services and mobile wallets. These services cater to diverse segments of the population, covering documentation, supply farm licenses, commercial records, property taxes, social insurance, healthcare, and vehicle licenses. Central to Egypt digital commercial records, property taxes, social insurance, and participation in the digital economy. The Digital Egypt initiative aims to simplify the process of accessing the employment in the digital economy and foster entrepreneurship and digital innovation among citizens. In line with its digital transformation strategy, the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology has established robust digital transformation and legislation framework for governing the sector and protecting the users. Furthermore, it has created attractive regulatory frameworks to attract both local and foreign investments, fostering partnerships with the private sector and the civil society.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, continuing our discussion with Dr. Lebib. Doctor, now, the implementation and integration of artificial intelligence within our daily lives is a relatively new thing, even if it was a work in process for maybe decades. But it is being implemented newly, relatively, in our society. But what about the future of it? Because it's a fast-paced sort of world and development. Is there some sort of a roadmap on implementations, laws that protect or limits or gives more accessibility and freedom for artificial intelligence? What is a proposed roadmap for Egypt and artificial intelligence?
Definitely we should start by collecting good data. Because if we have good data, then we can apply the analytics. We can have some predictive analytics and then some prescriptive analytics, so that we can help the policy makers and the decision makers as well to take suitable decisions for the country. And then we should work on the applications. Not only, we're not talking about robotics, because some of the people think that AI is mainly robotics. Now, robotics is one of the applications. So maybe we can make use of augmented reality, virtual reality, especially if we're talking about special needs. So we should focus on having our applications, developing our applications. And I think that we have very good developers in Egypt that are really serving now many international companies. And we should make use of innovation. Like, for example, for the special needs, we were very happy to have 3 projects from students that are in high school. And they were presenting some solutions to the currently faced challenges regarding the special needs and their social inclusion. And that was really good. So we're not only talking about university students, we're talking about high school students. A very important point is the update of the regulations. We have very good regulations, however, we have to update them, because as you know, with AI, every day we have, maybe every second, not every day, we have some new trends. So we need to be able to cope with these trends. And then we need to have a plan for what we call the knowledge transfer. We need to educate the students, we need to educate the educators, but we need to have a clear path for this. If we manage to implement these steps, then I think that we will do a very good job with AI, and when benefiting not only from AI, but from all of the emerging technologies in healthcare, in education, for special needs, in all of the domains.
Well, if some amendments are needed and some laws might be introduced or changed or adapted differently, are we talking about, talking about the challenges facing AI and challenges facing people with special needs with AI? Are we talking about legal issues, legal challenges, moral challenges? Are we taking away from more of a humane interaction by really depending on AI? What sort of obstacles or challenges lie ahead?
We have ethical challenges and we have legal challenges. I think that with the legal issues, it's much easier to handle. But with the ethics, it's not that easy, because we still have to respect the privacy of all people, including special needs. But on the other hand, in order to be able to serve them and to plan how to provide them with some services, we need to know more about them. So here we have a debate, what to do. Because we have the privacy, the confidentiality, and that's very important for people. So with the ethics, it's not that easy. And even we think that sometimes that AI will provide better, or let's say more fair outcomes. It's not always the case, because we still have some biased AI algorithms. We have some biased data. That's why we need to make sure that our data is good. And by good, at least it should not be biased, whether, pro or against. It should be fair. And that's not easy. So tackling the ethics and the ethical aspects is not easy. A very important aspect is the accountability. If you're going to rely on AI, then Is it really accountable? How are you going to deal with this aspect? Is it reliable 100%? These are some of the risks.
Well, if we're talking about accountability and relying on AI, I mean, so should there be some sort of governance that would overlook the use of artificial intelligence? Now, if we're talking about credibility and privacy and legal issues, Egypt is well known to have a fairly good cybersecurity system, which also deals with all of these things, the privacy, the legal issues, the fraud. So shouldn't Egypt be able to use that sort of experience and their prowess within cybersecurity to apply it or take it to the next level within artificial intelligence?
Okay, it's not only talking about cybersecurity. We have the Charter for Responsible AI that was issued in April. But that's not the issue. Again, you are making use of data in order to provide some predictions to decision makers so as they act in a proactive manner. But again, is the data reliable? And what about the AI algorithm? Is it 100% fair? And then what about the results? How can you understand and explain and justify the results? Sometimes it's a very important challenge that we face in AI. That we can come up with some results that are not really logical from our perspective. So these are the issues we're facing. So
Yes.
it's not only the cybersecurity or the security or how to secure the data. It's how to deal with AI system itself, starting with data, then the algorithm, then the results, then the action to be taken.
Well, it seems that many of the issues that we're talking about really depend on data and the collection of this data. And we've been talking for a few years now about digitization and digitalization and transferring everything digitally, and really, I mean, we are a population of over 100 million, so it would take time, obviously. But then how soon can we have proper, reliable, credible and logical data that would cover over 100 million, that would then allow us to perform better within digitalization and digital transformation and artificial intelligence as well?
Actually, that's a very tough question. We started already with digitization, which is having digital data, not the traditional one. And then we moved to the digitalization, which is working on the processes, simplifying processes, with what we call the re-engineering and restructuring. And then we applied already the digital transformation. That's why now we have many digital services that are provided for us as citizens. So we already achieved this, if we're talking about the digital transformation. And we started embedding the AI, but we're still facing some challenges. So we cannot have, let's say, a date, but we're already working on it. And now we have many databases. So we have many data about the citizens. But for example, if we're talking about the special needs, no, we need to have more data. We were having, again, this discussion in the event, and then one of the experts who were there said that Sohag has, I guess, most special needs, the highest number of special needs in Egypt. That's why we should start by this governorate as a pilot and start to implement the AI there, so as to provide them with better services, whether in education or healthcare or government education and so on. But this is data accurate? That's a problem.
Yes.
We need to validate the data. And that's, again, a main challenge for us when you work in AI. And that's the main challenge you face. You rely on data and you rely on expertise. But again, dealing with experts, then you have many contradictions because it is subjective, not objective. So you go to the data. That's the other part. Dealing with data is not easy because, again, it's not 100% accurate. It can never be 100% accurate.
Yes.
So we try to focus on the validation of data and expertise before feeding them into the system.
Yes. Well, to be able to collect as accurate as it can be data. Now, you've mentioned the cultural sort of obstacle that about the society in general, about the acceptance and integration of people with special needs, for instance. But also you've mentioned that even if the society and people are accepting and they understand the difference that people with special needs need or require, but also it seems that there's some sort of self-limitation and self-doubt by the parents and people with special needs as well. In specific, they don't realize their potential. They self-limit themselves. So do we also need awareness campaigns, not just for the society in general, but also for people with special needs?
We need some specialized campaigns for people with special needs. We need some other campaigns for their parents.
Yes.
Especially that some of the parents said that the doctors, some of the doctors, told them, you know, to forget about them. Just forget. They have some special needs, so they will not be able to succeed. They will not be able to go to school. But this made them decide that that was a challenge.
Yes.
And they fought for it. And we've seen many very excellent, very nice examples.
Yes.
That they very promising examples. So I think we should educate the different stakeholders and the community as a whole.
Dr. Lbib, one final question because we're running out of time now. What stands in the way of speeding up the process of the digitalization and implementation and the amendments for artificial intelligence in Egypt? Are we talking about financial challenges? Are we talking about needing more developers? Are we talking about, I mean, what is the main obstacle? What are the main obstacles that are hindering a fast-paced development for AI?
Not being able to work as a team. Because to be able to implement AI or to be able to implement digital transformation, you have various stakeholders. So we need to work as a team, that's all. But we have very good developers, we have tools, we have finance, we have everything.
Yes.
But we need to accommodate all this in the form of a team.
Well, you've heard it from the specialist herself. It's a team game, it's teamwork, and the finances are there, the developers are there, people are there. So everybody needs to work together for a greater good, for the benefit of the Egyptian society as a whole. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this edition of the Daily Debate. Before we go, I'd like to thank my very distinguished guest, Dr. Niveen Lbib, the Director of the Social and Economic Planning Center and the Professor of Artificial Intelligence. Dr. Lbib, always a pleasure having you with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned for more coming up on Night International. I'm Henny Saif. Thank you for joining.